Good morning, everyone. Welcome. This is our Unsolved Missing Cases and a Broken Justice System. We're going to do the introduction and then I'll do the disclaimer and we'll get into the stories. Okay, everyone, the first story we're going to do is a story that comes out of New York. The NYPD is investigating the police response to a domestic call a day before 10-year-old Aiden Wolf was found dead in his Harlem apartment.
New information: the murder of a 10-year-old boy in Harlem. Cops say they went to his apartment building on a domestic violence call the day before he was killed, but weren't given an apartment number. So when they didn't hear a loud disturbance, they left. It wasn't until the following day that they found Aiden Wolf battered, bruised, and unresponsive. Josh Einiger is live in Harlem with the story. Josh?
Well, Shadi, there's actually a lot police don't know about what happened in that fourth floor apartment where Aiden Wolf died this unspeakable death. They don't know exactly when he was killed. They don't know exactly when he was beaten. They do know, the police commissioner says, that police officers were called to the hallway around the time the attack might have been happening. And tonight, the police commissioner wants to know if those officers or if police procedure could have made a difference.
It was a devastating weekend at the St. Nicholas houses. The candles, the balloons, for 10-year-old Aiden Wolf, beaten to death in what police describe as a case of willful, vicious child abuse. And now, word from the NYPD that at least one neighbor heard the abuse Friday afternoon and tried to help Aiden by calling 911. Police Commissioner Dermot Shea revealed a neighbor had called police to the NYCHA building Friday afternoon to report a domestic dispute on the fourth floor. The 911 caller, Shea wrote, could not provide an apartment number, but stated there was banging and screaming in a hallway and that a child was present. 2 officers went through the hallway, listened at the doors, and checked the stairwell for any sound of a domestic dispute in progress. They remained in the hallway for approximately 12 minutes. Shea continued, the officers dialed the callback number related to the 911 call twice, several minutes apart, to determine if the caller could provide what direction the noise had come from, but got voicemail both times. After not detecting any ongoing dispute, they resumed patrol. After 2 days of questioning, police arrested Aiden's mother's boyfriend, Ryan Cato, whom neighbors allegedly heard berating and beating the child on Friday, around the time police were called. It would be 24 hours later that Cato called 911 to report him unconscious, and by then it was too late. His body, according to court documents, covered from head to toe with bruises and abrasions, along with extensive internal injuries.
At the hospital, investigators were informed that the victim's demise was caused by a fatal child abuse syndrome.
And the police commissioner was clear to pin the blame for this horrific death on Mr. Cato, the 34-year-old man police say beat the life out of a 10-year-old boy. The investigation, though, will continue to see if police procedure is adequate for and might have perhaps helped this little boy.
We begin tonight with breaking news in Harlem. Police have made an arrest in the death of a 10-year-old boy. Aiden Wolf's stepfather has been charged with murder as an outraged community speaks out. CBS 2's Nick Calloway live tonight in Harlem with the details. Nick.
Yeah, the boy's stepfather did not say a word tonight to reporters as he was walked out of the 3-2 precinct in handcuffs. He's accused of killing that little boy inside the family's apartment. Outside this St. Nicholas Houses apartment building on 131st Street, a small memorial pays tribute to the young life taken too soon. 4 floors up, police still stand guard outside apartment 4F, where 10-year-old Aiden Wolf was found Saturday afternoon. Sources say he was covered in bruises and cuts, some new, some old. His stepfather, 34-year-old Ryan Cato, was charged with murder and endangering the welfare of a child.
It's a tragedy through and through.
Destiny Rogers lives down the hall. Hours before police were called to the apartment, she heard what sounded like sporadic shouting. She was wearing headphones, so she didn't know which apartment it was coming from.
Just raised my headphone really quickly, but I didn't hear anything that was alarming to me that would draw me to start worrying. Nothing at all. So, called the elevator and I just walked out.
We commit. We commit. We commit. We commit to not give up on our young. To not give up on our young.
Saturday afternoon, advocates rallied outside the apartment building to pray for the little boy and stand against violence. The head of the St. Nicholas Houses Tenants Association says it's up to neighbors to look after each other and prevent tragedies like this one.
These walls are thin enough to where you can hear a child being beaten. Yes. You know what? You think it's not your business, but when it's tragically winds up on the news, it is your business.
Some neighbors on the 4th floor are still shaken by the little boy's death. Rogers says she could barely sleep last night knowing what happened just down the hall.
I never would have thought that something like that would hit close to home because it seems like it's from a movie. It's disgusting. It's just disgusting.
Police sources tell us the boy's mother was also being questioned by police in this case, but so far no charges against her. Reporting live in Harlem, Nick Calloway, CBS 2 News.
Okay, guys, we're going to go into our next story. This one is also one that deals with children. Police say that six-year-old girl, Lori Ann Walker, was shot and killed by a relative over spilled water. But what I later found out was it wasn't spilled water. It had something to do with the bathroom tub or sink overflowing. But anyway, the little girl got shot twice and she ended up passing away. This is such a horrific story.
Breaking news in Pasadena. A 6-year-old girl is dead after police say she was shot multiple times over spilled water. This happened at an apartment complex on Shaver Street and Allen Genoa Road. KPRC2's Bill Barajas is live with the very latest in this investigation. Bill?
just to hear these things happening, like, especially here. I mean, you always hear stuff happening here, shootings and everything, but a 6-year-old, that just, it tugs at my heart, man. I can't. I feel bad for the mom. Over some spilled water. Makes no sense.
And you heard from neighbors, their residents here at this apartment complex off of Shaver in Pasadena. Again, police have cleared the scene here just moments ago, but there's still lots of questions surrounding what happened here. Pasadena police saying a 6-year-old girl possibly losing her life, possibly over spilled water. They have again cleared the scene. You can see family members have been allowed to go back in to the apartment. We saw them cleaning the apartment earlier. They are now just gathered outside talking. This happened at around 11:30 this morning here in Pasadena at an apartment complex off of Shaver, again in the Pasadena area. The details again still coming in, but again what we know right now is that a 6-year-old was shot, appears multiple times, or at least multiple shots were fired by a relative after some sort of argument over spilled water. It's unclear what the relationship is between that relative and that young girl. The young girl was rushed to the hospital but died a short time later. Police telling us her death was tough on responding officers who attempted to perform CPR. It's also taking a toll on those who live in this complex. As far as the suspect, we're told he actually took off just shortly after the shooting, but was caught just down the road. He is currently being interviewed by detectives. We will continue asking questions and bringing the very latest as it comes in to us. Live in Pasadena, Bill Barajas, KPRC 2 News.
Tonight, 2 tragedies involving children, incidents that happen days apart and many miles apart. But now we are learning a deadly crash and deadly shooting have a heartbreaking connection.
We do have team coverage on this tonight, starting with our Roseanne Aragon, who's live in Pasadena, where a 6-year-old little girl was shot and killed today. Roseanne?
It is no doubt a very devastating situation for the entire family. Pasadena police say it happened just behind me here in the 3600 block of Shaver Street. Neighbors tell me just minutes before the shooting, the family member who shot the girl knocked on their door. A heartbroken family.
I done lost words right now. I'm still choked up right now.
Friday morning, a shooting left her 6-year-old granddaughter, Lorianne Walker, dead.
My granddaughter with your baby, they got shot twice in the chest this morning.
Pasadena police say it was a male family member who shot the girl over spilled water. Downstairs neighbor Mauricio Alvarez says they saw that family member often, and minutes before the shooting, he actually knocked on their door.
He knocked on the door. He was like, "Oh, can you check if you don't have waters coming down, because the little girl has clogged the toilet."
He left. 10 minutes later, neighbors heard
like a group upstairs that were yelling.
He was banging on the doors, and one of the women had a knife, and they were telling him, "Get out of here, get out of here."
But then Alvarez says the family member came back.
He went running upstairs, and we heard like 4 or 5 shots, like bam, bam, bam. And he started running, and we started hearing his like scream.
Bullet casings fell.
We just started calling the cops so we can help them out.
The 6-year-old was rushed to Bayshore Hospital. Her mother heartbroken. Her brother, who lost his children in an unrelated crash Sunday, sending comfort.
All I can say to my sister, I'm here for her. I'm a supporter. And I can imagine her pain, because we both going through the same pain.
And it just so happens that the man you just heard from, the uncle of the 6-year-old girl, happens to be the father of the children that died in a fiery crash on Sunday in Spring. This family is asking for prayers. Reporting live from Pasadena, Roseanne Aragon, KPRC 2 News.
Good afternoon. I'm Ron Trevino. Thanks for joining us on this digital format of KHOU 11 News at 5:30. Tonight we have disturbing new details about the man accused of shooting and killing a 6-year-old girl in Pasadena. It allegedly happened because of a clogged toilet. Matt Doherty has the story.
All right, Mr. Means, you're here accused of the capital felony.
During his first court appearance, Ramian Means did not offer any explanation for what happened inside that Pasadena apartment Friday morning. The 35-year-old's being held without bond until at least tomorrow, when he'll make his next court appearance. On Friday morning, Pasadena police say an argument ensued between Means and the 6-year-old girl. They say Means was angry that a toilet was clogged and water began to spill on the floor. That police say Means may have left and returned to the apartment with a gun. They say he shot the girl several times. Police arrived minutes later.
They attempted CPR on her from here all the way to the hospital. She was declared deceased there. The suspect who shot her fled on foot, and one of our patrol officers located him a few blocks away.
Harris County court records show Ramian Means has an extensive criminal history, which includes felony convictions involving injuries to children. In 2006, Means pleaded guilty to reckless bodily injury of a child, for which he served 10 months in jail. Prosecutors claimed Means pushed a stroller carrying a child on its side, causing the child to fall out and get hurt. In another case from 2008, Means pleaded guilty to child endangerment after he left a young child at home. Now in this latest case, Means is charged with capital murder. Police say they're not ready to release the name of the girl who was killed on Friday, and they have not shared the connection Ramian Means may have had to the child or her family. Matt Doherty, KHOU 11 News.
Okay, guys, we're going to move on. The next two stories are concerning individuals who went missing.
When a 23-year-old mother of two disappeared last week, her family began a desperate search.
That's right, but their worst fears came true today when her body turned up in her car just a few blocks from her home. KCAL 9's Hermela Argawi spoke with her heartbroken sister and cousin tonight.
I'm getting justice for my sister, dog.
A family devastated after 23-year-old Maikiana Johnson's body was found in her car this afternoon.
My mom got to bury her daughter. I got to bury my sister, and somebody knows something.
Police say around noon today, they responded to a call of a homicide in South LA. When they arrived, they found Johnson's 2003 silver Mercedes-Benz on the 1800 block of West 95th Place. According to a family member, Johnson's body was found in the back seat, all just blocks away from where she lived.
The car wasn't there, and all of a sudden the car was there. Me and her sister been out here every day looking for her. And somehow her car ended up on the street that we done been down every day.
The family says the mother of two young daughters has been missing since last Wednesday. They say it appears the last person who saw her was her partner and father of her 1-year-old.
She was innocent. She don't do nothing. That girl would go to school, take care of her kids, make sure her kids is okay.
Johnson's family says she was sweet, was taking online college classes, and was focused on being the best mom she could be.
She always was good to people. She did everything she can for people, and I don't know why anybody would do this to her, okay? She mind her own business. She don't be in no drama or nothing.
The LAPD says they are investigating this case as a homicide. They wouldn't say if they had any suspects yet, but are asking anyone with information about the incident to call their anonymous tip line at 1-800-222-TIPS. In South LA, Hermela Argawi.
Now 11 outrage and sadness after a woman's body is found inside a parked Mercedes just blocks from her home. The family says the death is suspicious. Good evening. I'm Chuck Henry.
And I'm Colleen Williams. We now know that woman has been missing since last week. Tonight, her family spoke to NBC4's Beverly White.
Family and friends leaving 96th Street leaned on one another for support after officials removed the car and the remains of 23-year-old Maikiana Johnson. Relatives say Johnson, who has two young daughters, never returned from a fast food run 1 week ago.
They had told me that they had found her car, and when I got here that it was taped off, and they let my mom know that that was her.
Johnson's relatives are heartsick. Their missing person flyers failed to help bring her home safe.
Me and my cousin, her sister, we've been out here every day doing our own investigation, trying to figure out where my cousin been.
We're told someone recognized the Mercedes from the flyer around noon today and called the missing woman's family. This cousin is furious. Maikiana Johnson was found in the back seat of her own car on a well-traveled street.
All of a sudden, her car is where it hasn't been because we've been on this block multiple times. Her car was not here, but all of a sudden it's here.
The condition of Johnson's body was not released. The coroner will determine how she died. Loved ones call her death suspicious, and they say it leaves a huge hole in their close-knit family.
Imagine having to tell a 5-year-old that they mama not coming home. Ain't nobody thinking about that though. When they did the to my sister.
I want justice for my cousin, and she go get her justice because she didn't deserve this.
Late tonight, LAPD South Bureau tells us they're treating the Makiana Johnson case as an undetermined death. So anyone who knows how she wound up here on the north end of Jesse Owens Park near the driving range should give them a call. In Gramercy Park, I'm Beverly White, NBC4.
Hello, hi, my name is Lakashima Collins, and me and my family is here on behalf of my niece, Makiana Johnson. She was murdered and found in her car, and we asking anybody in this neighborhood who's seen anything. If you've seen her car, any details, we don't care how little or how small. We want all the phone calls, all the details. So if you guys have a conscience or a heart, this could be your 20-year-old daughter, 23-year-old daughter, or your 23-year-old family member. She has 2 daughters, and we want justice for Makiana. She did not deserve to die this way, and we're not going to rest until we find out what happened to her, and whoever did this to her is in jail. So we begging you guys, please come forward with any information that you have, because we need peace. We cannot sleep, we cannot eat until we know what happened to Makiana Johnson. Her daughters want to know what happened to their mother. When they have asked questions later on in life, we want to have answers. So we need y'all help, the community help. Please, help us help her children get justice for their mother. Please, please, please.
She didn't deserve that.
We want justice for
We
Makiana.
want justice for Makiana. This girl was a beautiful spirit. She was a good mother. She did not party. She did not hang out in the streets. She was a good mother. She went to church and she took care of her children. Never in a million years will we ever think something like this would happen to her. So we begging y'all, please, help us help her children. Let's get justice for Mikey. On 3, justice for Mikey. 1, 2, 3. Justice for Mikey!
That's so sad and disturbing. And she had 2 small children. Okay, we're going to move on to the last story of this evening, and we're going to close out. I'm going to do a tribute to DMX. He is still on life support. He's still alive. A lot of reports have been going out saying that he's passed away. That's not true. He is still alive. So we're going to close out with that. But first, let's do this last story. And this story concerns another young lady who got missing.
Closure a little bit to the friends and family. Please keep them in your prayers.
The investigation and search for 33-year-old Melinda Davis from Richland County is over after 18 days. Investigators say her body was found in the trunk of her own car near Columbus. Police making the discovery last night. NBC4's Eric Halperin is live tonight in Galloway, near the neighborhood where that car was found. And Eric, what do they think brought her there in the first place?
Well, Columbus police got a tip about a car. That's why they came here on Sunday night, and they eventually figured out that was Davis's car. So they called the Richland County Sheriff's Office, and now neighbors in this area are shocked this happened so close to home. The 5600 block of Zachary Court. Quiet on Monday, but neighbors say police were there for several hours Sunday night.
It's scary because we didn't expect something like that happen here.
Sisters Sharon Orozco and Valeria Campbell live near where Melinda Davis's car was found.
It is really scared to hear somebody to come to your house and tell you There is a woman that is missing, and we found her car running around to your house, and we were like, what? We didn't know. Like, it was really scared to hear that.
Sunday night, Columbus police called the Richland County Sheriff's Office saying they found Davis's car after getting a tip. The car was taken back to Richland County, where Sheriff Steve Sheldon says it was searched and the 33-year-old's body was found in the trunk.
It's a very, very sad day.
Davis had 4 kids. She'd been missing since February 25th. According to investigators, she was going to see her ex-boyfriend, John Mack Jr., in Mansfield. He's behind bars on a kidnapping charge after being arrested earlier this month. The Richland County prosecutor says blood was found at his house that led to the charge.
There's still a lot of investigation that goes on in this, and there's certainly, the car was just found last night. The autopsy is just being done this morning at Montgomery County Coroner's Office. We have a lot of questions too.
And according to the prosecutor, 2 other people are being charged with obstruction of justice, and Mack could also be facing more charges. Live and local for you in Columbus, I'm Eric Halpern, NBC 4.
All right, guys. Those stories were very, very, very sad. Like I said, I always want to highlight it. April is Child Abuse Awareness Month, so please get the word out. I have the hotline numbers. I'll be going back and forth. I'll be putting the domestic violence hotline number as well as the child abuse hotline number. Okay, we're going to do a news clip on DMX, and then we're going to close out with me doing my tribute.
The outpouring of concern for rapper DMX from the music world and beyond. His attorney saying he is in grave condition at a New York hospital. And ABC's Zachary Keish joins us with more. Zachary, good morning.
Whit, good morning to you as well. From the beginning, there was something about that growl in his delivery that spoke to both the pain and the passion. Using that distinctive voice, he became a star in his own right. He became the cornerstone of the Rough Riders, all the while remaining deeply complex, deeply human, even flawed. Perhaps that's what makes him so relatable to the fans. This morning, Earl Simmons, the artist who rose to prominence as DMX, is fighting for his life after suffering a heart attack. According to sources, the hip-hop artist was at home in Mount Vernon, New York, when he was rushed to the hospital Friday night.
He is in grave condition. Whatever that means there is, that's exactly what I'm being told.
His songs like Slippin' struck deeply personal notes, a mix of vulnerability and strength that made him unique. His 7 albums are already etched in hip-hop history.
I suggest you get started on the paperwork.
He also has more than a dozen movie roles to his credit. Missy Elliott, Eminem, Viola Davis, among those lifting the artist in prayer on Twitter. Moving fans with that untempered grit and enthusiasm, but also his honesty.
Telling the truth and it hurts.
Through the years, Simmons has openly struggled with the law, addiction issues, and overcoming a traumatic childhood. In 2019, he checked himself into rehab, telling his fans through this Instagram post. But his popularity and contributions to the culture have long been cemented. In July, more than 500,000 people showed up to watch Simmons and Snoop on Versus.
Seeing him up there looking healthy made people feel good about where he was right now. And I think that the response that we're seeing from the music community right now, sending well wishes, really speaks to that too.
Simmons has battled chronic asthma, which we understand contributed to that signature tone. It wasn't all that long ago, a couple years ago, that I was standing outside of a motel not far away from where Simmons lives, and he was battling a similar scare. This morning, those in the hip-hop community and his family at large are hoping that he can stand up once again. Janae?
And Zachary, you mentioned that song, Slippin'. He says, I'm slipping, I'm falling, I can't get up. So many fans hoping he gets back on his feet so he can tear it up again. Zachary Keish, thank you so much.
Well, hey there, GMA fans. Robin Roberts here. Thanks for checking out our YouTube channel. Lots of great stuff here. So go on, click the subscribe button right over here to get more of awesome videos and content from GMA every day, anytime. We thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the morning on GMA.
And we're back. And I wanted to close out with, like I said, my own personal tribute that I made. The last couple of days, I've been experiencing all kinds of technical difficulties. StreamYard is a whole brand new system to me. So it's just trial and error. I'm going to make mistakes. There's going to be glitches, but I'm just going to try my best to keep learning every day and get better so I can put out more quality uploads and live streams. So please bear with me. Okay, like I said, let me do my affirmation, and like I said, I'll close out with DMX, my tribute to him. I say this to myself every day to encourage myself, and I ask that you do the same for yourself. And the affirmation goes, I am gifted, I am talented, I am beautiful, I am enough. Take that with you everywhere that you go. Tune back in with me during the week. I'll be covering the Derek Chauvin trial. Every day I'll be doing uploads and giving you guys highlights from the trial as it goes on. As well as on the weekend, I do my, when Keeping It Real goes wrong, I normally do those on Saturday nights. And then on Sunday, I do my unsolved missing cases as well as a broken system that deals with child abuse. All right, you guys have a blessed rest of your week and enjoy this tribute. Okay, guys, I'm going to close out with a prayer. And my prayer is, Lord, merciful Jesus, please look upon DMX. Lord, we know that you are a healer, and by your stripes, he is already healed. Lord, we know you still have work for him to do. So we just ask that you recover him fully, 100%, in your holy and blessed name. We give you all the glory and honor because you're more than worthy. This is my prayer for you, DMX. Amen. And now we're going to close out with him saying a prayer. Be blessed.
Father God, I am just learning how to pray. Bear with me. First, I thank you for the life of everyone that's here with me. Then I thank you for the love you give me. Why? I don't know. I don't deserve it, and it hurts inside. Many a nights I cried and called your name out loud, but didn't call you when I was doing good, too proud. And still you gave me love. I wasn't used to that. Most of the people that gave me love ended up taking it back. That's something new to me. So I'm asking you for time to adjust. Let me make it there. I will be one you can trust. What I stand for, I put my life on. I do. I guess what I'm asking is, show me how to stand for you.
Amen. Have a blessed rest of your week, everyone. Be encouraged.